I am pretty decked out, got the full face on, got my knee/shin guards, and I even have my padded underwear on. Hey, what's up, Duff here? Got the Inmotion V10F, and we are doing the proper Dunkin' Donuts ride today. I actually did take this to the close Dunkin' Donuts yesterday, you know, the one that's like 3 miles away yesterday. But today we are going to the OG Dunkin' Donuts, which is you know, between 10 and 11 miles away, and we're going to see how the V10F does in that journey. Hopefully well. So I just took the wheel off the charger, so it should be more or less full. And we'll see how it does. You know, the battery in the V10F is a little under 1,000 watt hours, so it's not a huge battery. But from all accounts that I've heard, it does a good job of milking decent range out of that size battery. So we're gonna put that to the test today. See how it works out. One of the features the V10F has, and a lot of Inmotion wheels have this, is that you can change the pedal angle right from the app. And yesterday when I was riding, I stopped a couple times and I adjusted it, and I thought I had it feeling good, but it doesn't feel quite right yet. So I'm gonna pull over up here and tweak it a degree or two and see if it feels a little bit better. Generally speaking, I like my pedals to feel just totally flat. So I'm running darkness spot, and I went into darkness spot and I changed the pedal angle in there. It said I was at 3 degrees. So I changed it to 0, but it doesn't feel all that different to me. For some reason, it still feels to me, well, I don't know, how's it look on camera? Probably can't tell on the camera. Still feels to me like the pedals are tipping up a little bit based on the feedback I'm feeling in my feet. So I don't know, maybe I need to try to set it in the Inmotion app itself. It doesn't really feel any different. All right, I think I got it. It's weird, like, if I use the slider to set it to 0, you know, 0 degrees, it still didn't feel quite right. And then I just did, I used the option to reset to the default configuration, which also sets it to 0. And that feels a little bit better. Still feels a little weird to me though. It's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I'll be fine. But it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't feel as flat as I'm accustomed to with other wheels. Or maybe it's because it has, I don't know, I don't think it has hardly any dihedral angle either. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. So the top speed on the V10F is 25 miles an hour, you know, when you're at a higher battery level. So I'm gonna have to be very conscious that I don't suffer from Shermanitis or V12itis, as I call it. You know, wheels that can very comfortably go much faster. My body's become accustomed to going at those higher speeds, so I need to keep my speed, you know, in the lower 20s for this ride. If I don't, there could be consequences. I probably should have worn my GPS so I could easily monitor my real-time speed, but I'm just gonna have to go by feel, I think. I want to take a minute to thank anyone that participated in my live stream Friday night. I had a live stream. Marty actually unexpectedly came in. He joined the live stream. He was probably there for maybe even more than half of it. So yeah, Marty and I were talking about all kinds of stuff. Talking about the Master, talking about the KingSong S20, talking about all kinds of things. So if you didn't get a chance to check it out, do so. I'll put a link in the description, or just search my channel for live streams. It's the most recent one, episode 59. Riding into a headwind. Now again, if this was my Sherman or my V12, I would be charging ahead, not caring. Yes. With the V10F, I don't quite have a good sense of how much you can push it. I mean, the V10F is not a weak wheel. It has a 2,000 watt motor. So I mean, it's using a decently strong motor. You know, 2,000 watts was kind of the bellwether motor for a while, for a couple of years. So it is a pretty strong motor. but I still do not want to push it because I don't need to hit the deck. Hitting the deck hurts. Riding on the V10F, which is a mid-range wheel, slower wheel. I am pretty decked out, got the full face on, got my Leah knee/shin guards, and I even have my padded underwear on. That protects your rear end and your hips. Because it seems anytime I've ever gone down, my hips always take a beating. So this underwear, even though it isn't the most comfortable thing in the world, it does pad those areas that take a beating. So I would recommend it. So speaking of taking a beating, I saw Jimmy Chang posted a video, and that one guy that he does some of his videos with, they got a master. I don't know where they got it, and they were pushing it. Not Jimmy, but I guess his buddy was on it. About 60% state of charge. They're not quite sure exactly how high or how fast he was going. Somewhere in the neighborhood of I don't know, low 40s, maybe touching mid 40s. Quite fast. And the wheel cut out. You could hear it. The stationary camera that they had, you could clearly hear it beeping. Jimmy's friend did indicate he heard it beeping, and I guess he thought for some reason that it wasn't beeping long enough or fast enough to be that much of a concern, and obviously he was wrong. The master took a beating, as you can imagine. The front and back light assemblies were destroyed, and it actually had enough of an impact that the metal subframe had a crack in it. So I don't know how safe that'll be to repair. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm sure whoever sent that wheel to Jimmy isn't very happy right now. Yeah, I guess that's the risk that you take. So the Master in general, that's one of the things that we talked about on the stream. The Master in general has gotten positive reviews. It's gotten positive reviews, at least from a performance standpoint, without a doubt. It has a combination of torque and top-end speed that we really haven't seen before. Usually you had to sacrifice one for the other. With the Master, you do not appear to have to do that. So yeah, performance-wise, it really hasn't gotten a lot of rave reviews. On the downside, there's some questions about QC. It's a Pagode wheel, so I mean, stellar QC should not be expected, and it seems like the Master is not the best example of QC. Most people will say that the Hero actually is the best QC wheel that Pagode's ever made. And the other thing that a lot of people have been bitching about is the range. The range on the Master for the size of the battery pack is not good. It's not good at all. I guess Mickey he's riding a Master. I'm not sure where he got it from or whose it is. But he said something about like he was riding around the city. He was at 90% battery when he left on the journey, and I think it was between 6 and 7 miles later, he was down to like 60%. So the Master, at least with the stock battery configuration, does not get great range. People were complaining about the range on the S20/S22. Seems like the Master is worse than that. So, as long as you're not expecting it to be a range monster again, though, you're still going to get some very appreciable performance. So another thing that came up during the live stream was a discussion about batteries, specifically batteries that are used in the current generation wheels, or a lot of them. Namely the Samsung 50Es, the Samsung 40Ts, and the Moly cells. And Marty is of the opinion, at least currently, until he sees some data that shows otherwise, that the Moly cells, the most expensive batteries, the Moly cells, which have a very high discharge rate. Like the 50Es, I believe, have a discharge rate, max sustained discharge rate of 10 amps. If I'm not mistaken, I'm working off memory here, the Moly cells, I believe, are in the neighborhood of 40 amps continuous discharge rate. So they can discharge much higher than these other batteries. The Samsung 40Ts, they, I believe, can have a discharge rate of around 15 amps max continuous. So they're a step up from the 50Es. And as you can imagine, as you go up in discharge rate, you also go up in cost with these batteries. And the discussion that we had was, what are you really getting for that extra money? Because I think that there's some people, maybe a lot of people, that think that, hey man, if I pay an extra 600 bucks for these moly cells, my wheel is going to be faster. You know, because these batteries have a much higher discharge rate. That's not true, not really true. I mean, like if your wheel does not know what batteries are attached to it, you know, short of them doing custom firmware for different battery configurations, which I do not think that any wheel manufacturer is planning to do, your wheel is going to pull what it's going to pull. What the different battery cells do is it gives you more overhead and more safety, of course, when pulling those amps. That's the advantage. It's more of a safety thing. It's not a performance thing. Although the moly cells will give you better performance over more of the pack. You know, you'll be able to discharge at higher rates over the length of the pack. So that, I guess that is a performance advantage. But as far as seat of your pants, torque, and top end speed on a fully charged wheel, you're not going to really see a difference. So the question is, who is willing to pay that much additional money for peace of mind and to be able to go faster, longer? I guess that is the question. I know for me, I would be 100% fine with just the stock 50E batteries, no problem. Those 40Ts, you know, they are smaller batteries that you actually will get less range with a 40T pack, higher discharge rate, you know, so it can do higher discharge rates safer, but you're going to be giving up range. I would rather have the range in my situation. We also talked about the EX20S, you know, that some reviewers are starting to get. Wrongway just got one. Jack from Electric Dreams was talking about it. I guess he has ridden the wheel as well. And one thing that is definitely agreed upon is that wheel is a boat. 3,600 watt hours, and I believe it checks in right around 110 pounds. It is a heavy, heavy wheel. Jack was more critical of it. He said that it does not handle well because of the weight. He said it accelerates slow, it brakes slow. He was not a fan. So, I mean, the EX20S, I guess it's a hard surface, long distance cruiser primarily. That suspension, you know, which is, it looks like it's the same suspension that's being used in the Master, which that's another complaint I didn't mention with the Master, is the suspension bottoms out very easily from a lot of reports. Marty didn't think it did, but I've heard tons of people saying that they're constantly bottoming out the Master. And I would think that would be even worse with the EX20S because it's even a heavier wheel. So I don't know. I mean, that thing's going to cost a fortune, and it is not a wheel that I find a lot of interest in. I definitely do not have these pedals at a good angle. I mean, I'm only 5 miles in, maybe 6, and my feet are burning already. That's, I mean, usually with my other wheels, I'm good. I don't start getting this feeling until, you know, 15 to 20 miles into a ride. So I'm gonna have to do some tweaking here to find out what is the magic combination on a V10F that feels good for longer riding. It's also quite warm right now, even though it's probably a little after 5 o'clock. It's probably right around 90 degrees. So I'm feeling it. You know, my magic underpants make it even feel warmer. So. But we will survive. But I definitely got to do something about this foot thing. My feet are going to be literally on fire by the time I get home if I don't adjust this. Man, I was so into talking to you guys, I missed my Heritage Bay turnoff. I didn't get on the path as early as I could. All right, so I stopped, and now I moved it to plus 3.9%. Or 3.9 degrees. See how that feels? I don't know. You know, because it seems like a plus angle actually means tilting it forward. Minus means tilting it backwards. Now I think I'm going to have too much pressure on the balls of my feet. It's been a long time since I've had to futz around with a pedal angle for foot comfort. I guess I've taken it for granted. Look at all this construction, guys. It's crazy. There's nothing here. It seems impossible that real estate is as crazy as it is here in Florida, because I mean this is everywhere. They're just building like mad. Yet, you know, no one can find a place and prices are escalating, and I don't know where it ends. You know, there was much the same mindset back in like 2005-ish or so, and the bottom dropped out. So I don't know if that's going to happen again or not, or if this is just sustained growth that's not going to stop, because evidently in the last year or couple of years, there's been more people moving to Florida than any other state in the country, you know, which I'm sure is COVID related, and, you know, primarily COVID related, I think, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, Florida is the destination that a lot of people are picking nowadays. And of course, around every complex, this is the other thing that you see more of in Florida than anywhere, are storage facilities. There's another storage facility. It's incredible how many storage facilities there are in Florida. Evidently, people, I don't know. To me, if you have enough junk that you need to throw it in a storage facility, you probably have too much junk. That's just, I don't know, that's just the simplistic way I look at it. But it's incredible how many storage operations there are down here. I mean, I bet it's triple digits. It's crazy. Everywhere you look, there's these massive storage facilities. And of course, they put them near condos and apartments, I guess, because those are the people that are most likely to have some space issues. But it's amazing. It really is. Okay, we're on the home stretch, less than a mile to go. Hi, turtles. There's like 5 turtles. You won't be able to see them, but there's like 5 turtles on a rock out there in the canal. Yeah, so we're almost there. We'll do a battery check-in and see how things are looking. Hopefully good. We have arrived. Let's see how things are looking. It feels good to get off because of my feet. Okay. I don't think this mileage on this is correct, because I hopped over to the Inmotion app. I started in darkness spot. So this is saying about 10 miles. It's probably more like 11 something. 60% battery. And I was hoping for a little more left than that. 60% battery. So hopefully we can get home. All right. Yeah, the gentleman was nice enough to make me a fresh pot of coffee. I guess in the afternoon a lot of people don't get hot coffee. You know, I'm kind of weird that way. Kind of weird in a lot of ways, but yeah. Got a fresh pot of coffee. And we are rolling again. I just double checked the battery level. It recovered a couple points. It's showing 62% battery. So I'm hoping that the lower than expected battery number is because I was going into a headwind pretty much that entire trip here. So having that wind to my back should help me be more efficient on the return trip. At least that's my hope, you know, because I don't want to, of course I don't want to walk it, and of course I really don't want to be like snaking around or snailing it, you know, 10 miles an hour or whatever as I deal with speed limiting. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Let the experiment continue. So another thing Marty and I talked about on the stream was our mutual feelings of frustration regarding the KingSong S20/S22, whatever the hell you want to call it. Specifically, the inavailability of the wheels to us. You know, the delay has been crazy. Now, I mean, I shouldn't complain. Marty actually paid for that wheel in full last October. I only put a deposit down last August, so I only have floated what was it, $100 or $200? I don't remember. I'm not floating all that money like Marty is, so he is very frustrated, which I totally understand. But I mean, both of us feel that, you know, I really don't want to tolerate this anymore. I'm tired of wheel announcements being made, sales, pre-orders opening up on wheels that you don't get for 6, 7, 8, 9 months later. It's just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if manufacturers change anything. Specifically, KingSong and Inmotion are the biggest offenders in that regard. But we'll see what happens. But I'm tired of it. And both of us commented, like, it's been so long, you know, from when the S20 was announced to when people actually will start getting them. It'll be like, you know, the shine is gone. The specialness will have worn off. We joked about how the Master, I mean, it wasn't something that was even talked about publicly when Marty put his wheel, paid for his S20. And in the meantime, KingSong announced the wheel, tested the wheel, designed the wheel, and rolled it out into production. People are getting Masters already. So, yeah. I know, KingSong, Inmotion, you guys got to rethink that, in my opinion. Oh, one final battery-related thing. I forgot I wanted to mention this as well. We were talking about the Master. One of the things that's a little controversial about the Master is how, unlike most EUCs, you know, we have multiple battery packs inside, but each of those battery packs adds up to the voltage of the wheel. Like in the case of a 100-volt wheel, you know, you have, you know, 2 or 4 battery packs that on their own are 100 volts. The Master has done something different. They have their battery packs in series. So they have 4 battery packs, each with a voltage amount of around 33 volts and change. When you add them up, you get your 134 volts. This is something interesting. It had some advantages, I would assume, for Begode. Namely, they didn't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to a BMS. Everyone said, or from KingSong, they said, oh yeah, we have all these technological challenges with, you know, developing a 126 volt BMS. Begode said, okay, well, we'll avoid those technical challenges by just putting 4 33 volt packs in series. It's much easier. The other advantage is you don't have as much voltage per pack, so I guess there's less potential energy, aka, you know, fire potential in each pack. What are you doing? Oh, these people, man, drive like futzes. So that's another advantage. Disadvantage is if a pack would fail, you more than likely no longer have sufficient voltage to move the wheel. Whereas in a parallel configuration where you have, you know, 4 packs at 100 volt, you could lose an entire pack and still be able to function more or less. So, but I mean, entire packs don't fail. That was Marty's point during the ride, was, you know, entire packs don't fail, cells do fail. So you could lose some cells in one of those packs and still not be dead. So I don't know. I guess time will tell if that's a problem or not, but it's an interesting solution. So changing my pedal angle to a positive number, like I said, I think I'm at like 3.9 right now. It does feel better. My feet are not burning as much. So I guess for me, I need a positive number. Definitely got a tailwind going this way, so I think I should be fine. It will be interesting to see what my final number is, though. Because I was thinking that this wheel could do, you know, 30 miles pretty comfortably. So we'll see what reality is. Okay, I just took a peek at my phone. I'm rolling like 18, 19 miles an hour, very steady. And my rolling battery level was like 40%. And it showed my speed cap was at like 22 at 40% battery, so it's not bad. I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah, so far, not too bad. Not too bad at all, except for my feet. V10F definitely does not get a high score as far as foot comfort, at least not yet. I just stopped to throw out my coffee cup, and yeah, it still said like 40%, which doesn't make sense because I've gone a few miles since I checked last, but yeah, it's definitely doing well. So I think overall the headwind that I was going into on the way there will be negated by the tailwind on the way back. So this story is almost concluded. Of course, I'm always glad to come back home, but today is the first time in a while on a ride that I've been like, oh, thank God, because my feet are burning so much. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time since I've had that degree of foot discomfort, but I'm pretty confident that can be addressed with some more tweaking of the calibration of the wheel. But other than that, the V10F did a good job. So based on that battery indicator, you can tell we are getting down there. But I did not have a single tilt back. I did not have any speed limiting. Now I wasn't going fast. I mean, I probably did almost a very solid 18 to 19 miles an hour the entire way back, but I didn't get warned at all, so that's good. I'm not a big fan of Inmotion tilt back. Let's see what our numbers are. All right, so this says 19.2 miles. Like I said, that's inaccurate because this was started late. It's probably more like 21 miles, would be my guess. Top speed, 22.9 miles an hour. And wow, yeah, see, this says, that's crazy, right? This is showing 37 to 38% battery. Talk about a difference that a tailwind makes. You figure I was at like 60, let's say 62%. So I used 38% of the battery there, but I only used, well, let's see, 24% on the way back. So significantly less. What was that, 50% less? Yeah, that's the power of a tailwind, guys. It makes a huge difference in your battery consumption, tailwind and headwind. So yeah, always keep that in mind if you're going to be pushing the range limits of your wheel, that weather conditions do matter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this ride. If you did, please think about giving the video a big thumbs up. It helps visibility on the video, helps everything. So yeah, it doesn't cost anything, very easy. It takes all of what, a tenth of a second. Click like if you liked it. If you didn't, click dislike, because that actually helps as well, believe it or not. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. And what did you think of that performance? I guess I should, let me screenshot this. I will screenshot it so I can include it. Although, like I said, it's not accurate because the mileage is not going to be 100% accurate, but you get the idea. What was I saying? Yeah, leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. Big thanks again to anyone that tuned into my live stream on Friday night. Huge thanks to my members, my channel members, all 13 of them. Right here they are. I appreciate your support. And members, my members, some of my members are really, they're just good people. They're nice people, and I do appreciate them. So anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you had a great weekend. This upcoming week, I have some time off, and then the following week I have some time off as well. So I'm gonna be getting some extra time off, so you might be seeing more of my face. If that's good or a bad thing, that's kind of up to you. But that's all I have for now. So till next time, Duffman out. Best $500 wheel I ever had. Who is it? Elsa. Hello. Hello. You gonna smell the wheel? How's it smell? Okay, good girl.